Welcome back to another episode. Today, we're going to touch upon a subject that is very interesting. Check this out. Is the going getting tough? Maybe you are lacking some of what we're going to talk about today. So, this is Itu, and welcome to another episode. We are getting started right now. All right, so we have a special guest today, and let me just tell you a little bit about her. She's a very, very nice woman with a lot of history and things to share with us. So, first of all, she has been an entrepreneur for nearly 20 years, a business advisor for nearly a decade, and a licensed real estate agent for 1 year. Originally from Brazil. Yeah, Brazil. Who doesn't love Brazil? All right, so she is a Brazilian Portuguese native speaker, fluent in Spanish and English. She is a devoted mother of six children. Mhm. Single mom, but she is very loving, a very passionate woman about what she does for life, and with a lot of heart to help others. Mhm. And she is devoted to, you know, having success in everything that she does. She pours her heart into everything she touches upon. Mhm. Her children and her family are her greatest pride and award in life. She is a dynamic entrepreneur and a senior executive professional with a bachelor's degree in business administration, with a track record of nearly 2 decades of success, and, as mentioned, a licensed realtor. Her expertise covers a cross section of roles and industries, having served in prominent positions such as Chief Financial Officer and Director of Marketing. She has owned several businesses, from construction to a digital marketing consultancy. Her achievements include pivoting businesses to thrive during the COVID 19 pandemic. Under her direction and leadership, seven businesses pivoted their operations during the first quarter of the pandemic. As a result, they achieved sales of three times their regular yearly revenue in that short amount of time. She has a strong passion for real estate, business development, education, and entrepreneurship. She is a detailed oriented, creative problem solver that thrives on challenges. She brings with her a wealth of knowledge, experience, and a strong desire to serve the community, and she loves doing it so very much. So, without further ado, please let's welcome Lucy Filizola. Hey, Lucy, how you
Hi, how are you
doing?
doing?
We are very
That's
excited and happy to have you here.
I'm very happy for the invitation to be here on the show today. I appreciate you guys.
Thank you very much. So, it's very interesting to have someone like you because we've had all sorts of people in this show, but there's two things that are special to you as far as I'm concerned. First, you're Brazilian, and you speak
Yes.
all of these different languages.
Yeah. So I'm originally from Brazil. I have lived here in Utah for most of my life, but I was born in Brazil. Yes.
That is fantastic, and I can't wait to go over there.
Yeah, that's you would love it. It's a very beautiful, very fun place. So, yeah, I definitely highly recommend it.
I gotta go there one day. And the second thing is, you are not only a mother of six, but also a successful businesswoman in many fields.
Yeah. Well, I like to think of myself like that. I think my children are my greatest achievement. Actually, being able to, like be with them and at the same time provide for my home. I take pride at like on doing those things. So I really count my blessings and see it's not as easy because there are many of them. I do have also one of my children has special needs, and so it requires a little bit extra there. But my kids are my team, and they have been able to support me throughout a lot of things too. You know, from the help with things in the home, and always being there for me as well. So
That is
I'm actually the lucky one.
that is nice. Very cute of you too. Okay, good. So, I congratulate you for all of that because, I mean, I can't imagine yet you having six kids, loving all of them, and then being a businesswoman in different fields and doing everything that you've accomplished. I mean, you're still so very young, and you've
Thank
done so
you.
many things.
Thank you. I appreciate that. It has been a challenge, but actually has been a good thing. I have learned a lot through experience, hardships too. Like things that have happened, unexpected things that have happened in my life and my kids' life. But at the same time, I guess those challenges are the ones that make you overcome and succeed. And having a important why, like my kids are the reason I do a lot of things that I do, and so it gives me the strength to kind of keep going. I have had some hard times where like I have to deal with things, but I guess at the end I have always been able to kind of step up and go to the next level. So
That is fantastic. Very good. And actually, that links us to the subject that we're going to touch upon today, which is if the going is getting tough, be more passionate about what you do and love. So, what
yeah.
can you tell us about how these helped you?
Well, the thing is, I've always had the belief that you have to find your passion in life. You have to see what you like to do. I love helping people. I love getting challenged. I love solving problems. That's like those are things that I like to do. And sometimes people ask like, what? How do you find your passion? What are you passionate about? And I think I always like to define what would you do for free if money you didn't have to worry about money. What would you do for free? And I think I apply that like in my family, and my work, and in real estate. I am very passionate about like helping people saying real estate, finding like their dream home where they're going to live. I think that your home is your most sacred place. It's the people that you love the most are supposed to be inside your home, and so I enjoy that process more than I don't see money as the end goal. I see money, like I think the money comes as you do something that you're passionate about it. And finding like reasons to keep going, you know, like say for me, for my kids, I mean, we have been through a lot of challenges from, like one of my daughters had cancer at one point, and then the other one got a brain tumor, and I have a special needs son. And those are things that were really hard, but knowing that they were depending on me, knowing that I'm, like I love them with all my heart, like, most moms love their kids. Of course, sometimes we get tired and sometimes you have good days and bad days, but overall, like the love that there is in there, the passion, like it's just like for us to kind of keep going and end up doing, more than what we originally thought we could do. So that's what I think passion does in your life. I think, when you find that, when you find, or when you can apply that passion to the different areas of your life, that's when you are more able to succeed. So,
I absolutely agree with you. I think that not only in businesses but in life in general,
yes.
there's a lot of things that apply to business that actually come from life,
Oh, definitely. Definitely.
and I think that having one's goals very well settled and determined, outlined, then the next step is just to truly be passionate about it. Because, like you say, if there is no passion, if there's no love, then there's no drive behind
Yeah.
it.
Yeah, and I think even like when you think of your goals, you need to think of your passion first. It's like before you set your goals, am I passionate enough about this that will make me succeed? In Brazil, there is a song that talks about, something that I like for goals, and it says, "Not too far away that I cannot see, not too close that I can't touch, but has to be out of reach enough. But I like I need to be focused there. And I think the way to get there is being, in love what you do, in love what you decide, how you decide to live your life, and kind of just go that way, focus that way. So even before you set up the goals, I mean, ask, is this goal, am I passionate about this goal? Because if you are, you most likely to succeed.
Nice, very good advice. Actually, I love that. What you mentioned about the song, it's like it's not too far away that I can't see, but not close enough that I can touch.
Yeah.
It's a very nice. Well, maybe it's not an advice, but it's something very nice to think upon.
Yeah, I think I always, when I think of goals, I kind of like think of that saying, because yes, you want to be able to visualize where you want to get. You want to be able to see it there, kind of like a mountain that you see from far away, and but you know it's there, but then you can go in that direction. Of course, I mean, to get and to go up that mountain, you have to be passionate. You have to be, because there will be good days, there will be bad days, there will be times where you wonder if you make the right decision. And but like I said, have love for it and everything, and then it kind of motivates you to keep going.
Correct. I agree with that. Excellent. So let's get into different types of questions.
Sure.
Let's dig in a little bit into our special guest lives. What was the moment you realized something had to change in your life?
Um, so I think I have had several points of my life where I have had to make adjustments. One big one that marked my life was when like I divorced and I became a single mother of like for my kids. I mean, their father is in their life too, and he has things that he does with them, but they are with me full time. And so at that point, one of my daughters got sick, and she had cancer. And I think that was a wake up call, that I had to kind of turn things around and do something else. I felt like I was responsible for like the responsible to support my kids, and to not only support my kids um, like through that time, but also financially. And I had to do something else. So I mean, it's not easy when you have so many depending on you. uh, and you have I have had a lot of help, like from my mom, my sister, friends, family, that have been there for me. So I cannot say that, oh yeah, I got it, I did it all. But at the same time, I had to take a important role in my life, and say, hey, I need to make things differently. So I have started different businesses. I have worked for different companies doing things like marketing, sales. Currently, I'm working with as a business advisor. That is something that I love too, and teaching. But at that point of my life where my daughter got sick, I think it was a huge thing, because it was such a change going through my life, that I had to decide. I knew that I was passionate enough about my family to do whatever it took, to take care of them, and to like provide and give the best that I had. Not perfect, but like the best that I had, and to you know keep going. So
That's very interesting, actually. I think it's very interesting what you mentioned at the end. Is maybe sometimes we don't do things perfectly. Hmm.
yep, yeah, and I'm a perfectionist, and that's really hard, because not always you can do. I mean, we're imperfect to start with, but I think that um, there's a difference between sometimes, like, perfection leads to paralysis. And I think the important thing is for you to always give a step, and then learn from whatever mistakes you make. We're going to go through life, and we're going to go make those mistakes, and we can either get out of that thinking that we failed on something, or we can get out of that thinking that we had a lesson and we are a bigger person, so the next mistake that we make is going to be different. uh, but to me, it's very important, to if it was not the best experience that I had, or if it was not the best business, or whatever it is, what did I learn from it, and how can I be better for the next one.
Mhm. Totally agree. Very, very valuable to learn from one's mistakes, or the barriers are one is challenged by. So very, very important. And I love the mindset that you have. I think it's very key to success.
Sorry.
That's all right. Okay, so let's see the next question. Um, Besides being passionate, mhm, what other key things helped you overcome the barriers in your businesses?
So I think like organizing yourself. Like for as far as like having a business plan, having a financial plan, having goals. I mean, anything before you start doing anything, a business or either in your personal life or in your business life, having goals. What do you want to achieve? How do you view yourself and defining them? Because sometimes people think, oh no, I want to do this for everybody, for everything. No, the more defined you are on what you're doing, the better you can perform. Um, as I talk to people when I'm doing business advising, one of the things that they say is like, oh, I want to sell to everybody. I want to do this business so that I can reach everybody. And sometimes, I mean, yeah, that's great if you can, if you get to that point, that's great. But like sometimes you just need to define. You just need to make sure that you have a clear vision of where you're going. It's not like this. Oh, I want to travel the world. That's great. I hope you can do that. But where do you want to start? Where do you want to go first? Oh, and then you define. Oh, I want to go to Brazil. I want to go to Rio. I want to see the big Christ. With open arms, and you defining, and then you make your vision more alive in your life. So definition, I think definition of your goals, it's one of the main things. And then getting organized. How do I get there? Making the plan. What are the resources that I have? Listing all resources that you have. Those things will make you successful, whether it's in your business or in your personal life.
Totally agree. How often did you find that people, in regards to their businesses, they're lacking this point of view?
So I work a lot with the Hispanic community. That's where I worked a lot with, as far as like business advising and stuff. And I've noticed that, yeah, they know that they want something. They have a hard time defining exactly what they want. Like it's like they want to grab everything, and that is helpful for you to get the idea and be motivated to start. But to actually succeed, I think it's helping them define a little bit better their vision. So a lot. Like I have appointments for people anywhere from 15 to 20 people a week that come for advising, plus like the classes that I teach. And they all have an idea and they all want to become better. But I've noticed that they lack a little bit of like definition on how what they want to really do and how to get there.
Mm.
So
Very interesting.
asking questions, ask yourself questions. What do I do? What is my intention? Have your, a mission statement, having your vision, what you want to accomplish with that kind of helps to define a little bit better where you're going.
Hmm. It almost sounds obvious, right? That you have to
Yes,
define where you're
yes.
going.
It does, but that's the funny thing. It's like mostly when you do, like sometimes it's not, success doesn't come from you to doing a lot one time, but it's to doing the little things constantly.
Mhm.
It's like when people ask like what to do to lose weight, and they're like, oh, let's do this crash diet. That doesn't work. It worked for a little bit, and then you're unable to take that and go on. What really works is for you to define something, even if it's like, I'm going to do 10 minutes of exercise a day, but those 10 minutes you actually do it, like you actually take that step, you actually constant on that goal. And that will make more of a difference than somebody that says, yeah, I'm going to go for 3 hours to the gym, and they go one day and then they don't go for a month.
Which happens a lot, right?
Yes, yes, to me too. I have to be better in that sense.
It's
Sorry.
so funny how one sometimes things like I've found many business owners that I either interview or that we handle at the company. that it's almost like they think they can divide their personal life and habits
Mhm.
from what they actually bring to the table in regards to their business or what they do in their business, and you find that it carries through, unfortunately.
It does. Anything, any good habit that you have on your personal life, you can bring it to your business. Any bad habit will go with you as well. So and I have over and over. I think I'm very resilient, but I have struggled in certain points of my life on constancy and things like that. And when I learned that that's very important, that's when I get my spurs of like growth and
Mhm.
success and things like that. So it's learning how to do little by little and I mean, you need to anticipate bad days. You need to anticipate, like for example, last couple of years that we've been going through the pandemic and things like that. Those are things that you cannot control. That will come, they'll come that are out of your hands, and you need to learn to deal with them. Not every day is going to be your best day, but when it's a good day, maybe you can run. Like every day you walk, and you have days that you can run, and then you run those days, but you need to keep going no matter what.
Good, good. That's also very good, valuable advice that we got there. So thank you.
Oh,
All right,
thank you.
here's the next question. Mhm. This is a bit of a more personal question. So,
uh,
so I'm just warning you. Mhm. What impact do you feel your success has made on others?
so the thing that I believe the most is that we touch more lives than we know. Sometimes, I mean, I probably cannot count the number of people, or I can give you a number and it's not going to be that accurate. So my belief is that um, when I do something, if I do with all my heart, and if I try to help, and if I do things, I'm going to touch more lives than I will never will ever know. So I think it's just the fact that I'm really there. Like I am a person that I give a lot of myself to whatever I'm doing, to the people that I love, to the things that I love and that I believe. I think that's when you touch most lives. I can tell you, oh, it's by doing this, by doing that, but I think it's just sometimes it's just a smile to somebody that is having a bad day. Some other time is sitting down for a business advice and saying, hey, let's help you to get this goal doing. Somebody is helping somebody to find the home that they want for their family. So we touch life is that way. And it's so interesting because I never like thought that minimal actions can change people's lives. And I had an experience when I was um, way younger, and I met this lady at church, and she didn't seem to get along with a lot of people there, but she really liked me. And I found out that she was sick, and she ended up passing away later. But one time she told me, she's like, I came to church and people don't talk to me that much, and I was not feeling my best, and you smiled at me and you asked how I was doing that day. And she's like, and that made my day, and that made me want to be your friend and and I was like, really? Because I would never have thought that hi, how are you doing, and welcome and stuff would make so much difference on somebody's life. So from there on, I learned that no matter if it's a small act or if it's a big thing, I mean, we always touch lives. If we're conscious that we are always touching somebody else's lives, we strive to be a better human being, the best chances are that we'll leave good seeds in this life. So
Right. That is very lovely, and it's good. I mean, it's such a good viewpoint to have in life. It's so very important nowadays,
yeah,
the way things are in the world. It's and I totally agree with you that sometimes it's not the very very big things that you do. Sometimes it's just the little tiny details that go unnoticed that reach really deep in the most unexpected moments.
that's true.
Hmm.
So, and then I've met through a lot of people through classes that I've thought that they have coming back to me and say, hey, this was great. I was able to accomplish these things, or business advising customers that come back and they are grateful and they say, oh, thanks to this I can do this for my family. And so that's very rewarding, but I think just being conscious that little details sometimes will make a difference in people's lives, like being conscious of that has helped me to want to be a better person.
Totally, but totally agree. Okay, fantastic. And this brings us to the last and my favorite question on these episodes. Are you ready?
Yes, go ahead.
Okay, good. So check it out. And now, I don't want you to give me an advice that you've already given me during this episode. Okay,
Okay.
so no cheating, no cheating on this one. Uh-huh. Here we go. If you could go back in time and tell your past self the most important advice to be successful, what would that be?
Every time you fall, get up, get going. I know that I'm not being true to you because I probably already mentioned that in there, but I think I wouldn't change my life because my life has brought me to who I am today. I'm very grateful for who I am today, but I think it's just keep going. Dark moments will come, shine like sunshine days will be there too. Um, Keep going. Be conscious of how you can make a difference in this passage here in this earth, and be the best person you can be. Be honest, be loving, and be somebody that you would admire. I think that's the main thing. Some days are easier than the others, but I always believe that at the end we are we're gonna have to live what we decided to do with our time here. So
Totally, totally. That was a big, big advice. So let me see. Let me just summarize it for our audience. So you
hey,
said, always get back up whenever you fall. Mhm. Push through the hard days, no matter what. Mhm. And what else was it? Like, give it your best at all times, right?
give your
Basically.
best. Yeah.
Did I
Sometimes we
miss
have to
anything?
forgive ourselves too.
Mm. Good, good. That's a big, big advice. Okay, good. So that was very lovely and very valuable too. I'm sure that the audience are going to be able to use all of this and watch this episode and rewatch it later on to get inspired back again on all the little details that we touch upon on this interview.
Sounds good. Thank you so much for having me here.
Mm. Thank you very much. No, I mean it's always very good to interview so many different people because each one brings something of value with their own viewpoint, with their own little twist on how they apply it to their life. So it was amazing, and thank you very much, Lucy, for being with us here today.
Sounds good. Thank you.
All right, and to all of you watching this or watching it later on, just remember that there is a way to push through the hard times, like Lucy said, and one of the key things is never to forget being passionate about what you do. Stay tuned with us for more tricks, tips, stories, and advice on how to be successful and continue expanding. Check our page at expandfires.com and let's just keep those fires of expansion burning higher and brighter. Thank you very much, Lucy. And to all of you, I'll see you on the next one.
Thank you.
Bye bye.